What it do, YouTube? It be your boy KVN Cam, man. Listen, and as you can see today, I'm here with a new video. And now that it's less than a week until the new Boruto chapter comes out, I gotta make this video. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make this little speculation. So if any of these questions become asked, I could say I told you so. You know what I'm saying? So today, this video is gonna be about questions Shikamaru, Naruto, or anybody that's in that meeting should ask Amado. You know, because it's some questions that, based off what he said in chapter 75, that it will lead to more questions. So let's get into that. I think that the first thing that they should ask him is, where is Shiba's remains, or where was Shiba's remains? Because I think that Amado would easily try to cover it up, saying that his remains is no longer available and he's already used all of his remains on Code, Ada, and Damon, right? So assuming that he would say that his remains is no longer, where would Shiba's remains have been at, so they can at least get the coordinates to go there to investigate or anything like that, right? I think that asking that question could lead, the answer could lead into more questions. So like, depending on how he asks the question, it will be like, why didn't Ishiki feed this body to the Ten-Tails, right? Because it's clearly is potent to where, even though his soul is not in that body, if you taking remains of that body and putting it on everybody else, you know what I'm saying, putting it into other people, they're getting his abilities and things of that nature. So at some point, it got to be potent to a sense, right? Like, just like how Kawaki can be fed to you know what I'm saying, a god tree, and Boruto could be fed now to a god tree. Well, he always could be, but he could be fed to a god tree, even though they're not like born Otsutsuki, or, you know what I'm saying, Kawaki doesn't have a Otsutsuki soul inside of him. So I think that you can kind of, you know what I'm saying, ask that question as well. So that's really two questions, but that second one is not, I wouldn't really consider that a question. But that leads perfectly into my next point, right? So we found out that Ada can see back into the past 16 years. So his daughter died around 12 years ago, and after his daughter died is when Jigen found Amado, right? So if Ada could see back 16 years, that means at least 4 years prior, that before Jigen got with Amado must have already had Shiba Otsutsuki's body, because he said that he transplanted the DNA from Shiba into Ada and Damon. And if that's the case, that means that he already had his body before Jigen even came into play 4 years prior. So he would have to explain what is his connection to the Otsutsuki. I think that's a lot of people's question and gripes, is like, yo, what is Amado's connection to the Otsutsuki? Because it seems like he knows an absolute lot, and in his story, it's not making the most sense, right? If you look at it at face value 1 or 2 times, reading the chapter 1 or 2 times, you may not have picked up on that, the timeline, because even Ada was like, you know, the fact that she died is true, but I think that some of the stuff in the middle is definitely not true. And then it leads to another question. After you explain where you found it at, or where it currently is, we're going to need to know, how did you stumble upon Shiba's body? What abilities do you have that we don't know about? In my personal assessment, I believe that Amado has plenty of abilities that he don't use. I mean, they mentioned that his eyes, he got some type of medical engineered eyes that he created for his own self and things like that. And he pretty much wiped out Team 10 solo. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't really have to do much. But I think that it takes a level of skill to even though they're gaining tuning for Shikadai, but it takes a level of skill to just come there in Konoha, and these are very skilled getting and tuning, and you kind of just clap them like with ease. So, yeah. Now I think for Konoha's sake, I think Shikamaru should ask if Ada and Damon, bringing them to the village, do they have any history to Amado, or do they even have anything that's related to his ultimate goal, like bringing his daughter back? What role do they play? Because it seems like they have some type of role in the way it is. But maybe they don't ask this because maybe they think that, Cole, you know what I'm saying, just thinking Cole just broke him out and he had no plans to do this. But I don't believe that. I think that he always had a plan for Ada and Damon in the story. Yeah, so if I was Shikamaru, I would ask that question. Now, this next one is kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of up in the air. I would ask, how and why does Code have Shiba Osusuki's abilities, right? Because to me, it would not make sense at all, right? If Jigen wanted to use Code as his vessel, right? If that's, you know what I'm saying, originally was his plan was to use him as his vessel, that means why would he put another Osusuki's DNA on top of it? And if that was something that Ishiki / Jigen was cool with, why didn't he do the same thing to Kawaki, right? I think that would be my big question, is why did he give Code his Shinjutsu ability with the claws? And I have a whole theory about that. I think that Amado secretly did this on his own, and it's something that Jigen may have picked up on, but didn't really care too much because Shiba's body is like not in this dimension. So he was kind of fooled along with the rest of everybody else, the rest of the fandom. The next thing I would ask is, what makes Code a failed vessel? Because I think that we haven't seen examples of like a real failed vessel, right? I think that Code is not a failed vessel. And I think that the reason that his karma is white is because it has no soul. I think that that's purely the only reason. And I think that that's the reason because Shiba is trying to use Code to resurrect. And somehow, in some means that we do not know, personally, right? He's trying to come back into the karma because maybe it's an ounce of his soul, or it's his abilities, his DNA, and he can somehow bring his way back through those means. Like the way that Kaguya came back via Divine Tree, which is why Amado, in my opinion, Amado told Code in the form of Ishiki through the thing that came out of his hand, his karma seal. I think he told him, keep going to worlds, conquering, eating divine fruit, because I think that Ten Tails is somehow linked to Shiba, or, you know what I'm saying, and I think that his DNA or something, it's something about it that's in there, and it will trigger Shiba to resurrect in a sense. Or, I don't know. I think that Shiba resurrection, they may keep him in this other dimension, but I think that it could be a potential, and I think that can be the same thing for Kawaki, but I just doubt that they'll give Kawaki a chakra fruit, but nonetheless, let's continue on to the next point. And now, the last question, and I think this would kind of, it'll piss Amado off, but it's a real question that need to be asked, is, you're so smart and so knowledgeable about jutsus, the medical, you know what I'm saying, the medical field in the world. There's no way that you didn't hear about Granny Chio's jutsu, where it's like a life for a life, and you could have really made really found or manipulated any random medical ninja from any of the 5 villages or wherever village you was from, made them sacrifice themselves in order for your daughter to get her life back. Because remember Green and Chiyo did that for Gar. What else? Reanimation jutsu. Now the reanimation jutsu, I think that one is a little bit more complicated because it's a forbidden jutsu that don't many people know. But I do think that like the world was made aware of the reanimation jutsu via the fourth grade, the fourth Great War, right? And I mean, it's simple as that. I think that for him to know Jiraiya's entire backstory, and I believe that what he had Kashin Koji do, like sneak into the villages, steal the intel and data on different shinobi. I think that he probably did that multiple times in different other villages as well. So it would be not too hard for him to, maybe get some data on forbidden jutsus and things like that. So I think that bringing his daughter back in a conventional way, in a way we've seen multiple times throughout Naruto, is easily possible, and it should have been done. And I think that bringing his daughter back may not be his ultimate goal. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you like anything that you heard in this video. Maybe I want to hurry up and get this video out, so I'm not going to edit it as much. Probably not going to put words on the screen and stuff like that. But in the future, I will try to edit the videos a lot more. A lot of this video was just questions and a little bit of theory sprinkled in there. I put a little hint of the little code video that I got coming up called The Misunderstanding of Code's Karma. I put a little sprinkle of that in this video so you can kind of get a hint to what I think about Code's karma and what I think about that entire process. Leave your questions down below because I love interacting with people. Definitely. I don't get to interact with a lot of people that's Boruto fans, like, I don't know. I'm not really on Boruto Twitter that much. Like, I maybe comment on somebody's Twitter like once or twice, but I'm not really that active, nor am I really that known to even have people that I can go back and forth with. So yeah, anyways, if you like the video, man, like the video. Share me with somebody, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way we get bigger as a family. I'm King K, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.